Hello people. I am quite often asked by candidates who I'm unfortunately unable to help about finding them a job when they don't have local experience. The reason that as a recruiter I'm unable to help these people is because companies pay me to go and source really relevant candidates to the business that they have and they operate. So they're going to want to see people coming from direct competitors. The main reason being that they pay quite a significant fee for the recruitment service. If they were willing to take a chance on somebody who was untested in their market, they would just find that themselves. It's not that businesses have a lack of applicants, it's that they have a lack of qualified, proven applicants with referrals from people who are in their market that they can verify. They've built similar projects before, they've worked on similar project values. It's about the uncertainty around the candidate. I'm sure that many of the people that are coming from overseas wanting to work in Australia do have the relevant experience and are good, but it's just about proving that. And if a business is going to pay 25 grand for a recruitment fee, they don't want to take that chance. They're already exposed financially. If something goes wrong with this placement, then obviously we would replace it, but the business is still tens of thousands of dollars out of pocket, and what have they got to show for it? So they're going to want to mitigate that risk as much as possible. I'm going to give some suggestions as to how I would personally approach it if I was somebody coming from overseas into Australia and wanting to get my foot in the door, because it's frustrating to the applicants and it's frustrating to us as recruiters as well that we're not able to help people. So I just wanted to give a bit of free advice to the people that are coming over and looking to get their foot in the door as to how they could potentially go about doing it. So the first point is going to be, who do you approach? What you want to try and mitigate is getting your CV lost in an inbox among 1,000 other CVs of people who may not have permanent working rights, who may not have experience in the country. You're going to want to try and get in front of people that are the decision makers, and you can do this in a number of ways. Now personally, if I was a director that was looking to employ people and somebody took the initiative to pick the phone up directly to me, that's something that 99% of people aren't doing. Most people are clicking apply on a job ad. They're going, oh, do you have working rights in the country? They're clicking yes when they really don't. They're needing a company to sponsor them. If you pick the phone up directly to a director or an operations manager or a general manager of a business, and you have a sales pitch ready for yourself, you have the ability to make yourself undeniable there. You can make it so that you don't get off the phone unless they've agreed to meet with you, or obviously don't harass them, but so you need to source the number of the person who is the best person to contact in the business. We call them end user decision makers. So director, operations manager, general manager, depending on the position, sometimes project manager. You can do this in a number of ways. Firstly, I would say go onto the company website. Occasionally, if it's a smaller business, they will have the contact details listed. If you have no luck on their website, you can use what's called a data scraping tool to pull contact information from across the web. Some recognizable brands of data scraping tools would be Datanize, that's the one that I personally use. Lusher is another one. I think Zoom Info is another one. But you can just Google it, you'll find a few different ones. And most of these softwares come with free trials. So you can download the software, install the plugin, and probably get up to 10 contact details that you can source for free per software. So you've instantly got 30, 40, maybe 50 contact details that you can get for free. And that is usually a mobile number and an email address. Next, you're going to want to put a sales script together for yourself. So research the business that you're going to be contacting and work out what type of projects that they do, the values that they deliver in terms of the project size. You're going to want to research the types of people that they have in their business already and what their backgrounds are. Just make yourself as relevant to that business as possible. You can alter your CV to a degree to highlight the things that are most relevant to the business you're applying for. Now, don't lie, don't make anything up, but if you're going to highlight certain things on the front page, like a cover letter, you should do that specifically for the business that you're applying to. Write down between 5 and 10 salient bullet points about why you are relevant to that business. If the business delivers road projects and they work in the CBD and they work up to values around $10 million, just for an example, highlight all of your relevant experience with roads. If you don't have any, highlight relevant experience that has similar aspects to road projects, so drainage, curb and channel, pavements, any sort of different aspects. If you've done subdivisions, you can highlight experience having worked on internal roads in subdivisions, similar things like that. Highlight the project values that you've delivered or worked on and the equivalent in Australian dollars. If you've been responsible for overseeing a team and the role that you're applying for will be overseeing a team, highlight that. If you are located in a certain geographical area and that business works in the same geographical area, highlight that to them. They want people that are local to the area so that there's no, getting caught in traffic consistently, wanting to quit the job and find something closer to home. That's one less hurdle. You just want to make the process as easy as possible for them to make their minds up. When it comes to salary, you don't want to give yourself away for free and you don't want to work for cheap forever. But it might be an idea to caveat the conversation with something like, hey, I know I'm untested in your market. I'm confident enough in myself that if you bring me on and I pass the probation period, then I will accept a reasonable salary. But for the first 3 months, I'm happy to work at X amount. This shows them that you're committed to the process and that you do back yourself. Offer them an out. Say something like, look, Mr. Director, let me come and work for you for a week. If you think that I'm no good, you don't have to pay me, I'll leave. Nobody's going to not pay you. I don't even think that's legal. But the fact that you're saying it and you're making the suggestion, look, I'm willing to work for free, it shows initiative, it shows that you're keen, and as I said, nobody's going to actually take that and not pay you, but the fact that you've put it out there says something about you as a person and your willingness to make things work. When you speak to them on the phone, keep a couple of situations in mind where you face something difficult on a project or something in a previous role that's been not ideal, and you've managed to come up with a solution or an outcome to get a good result. If it's been an access issue, if it's been a under-resourcing issue, if you've then implemented a strategic idea or some kind of way of solving that problem, highlight that. People want problem solvers. Problem solvers save businesses money, and ultimately businesses are in business to make money. Ask the person on the phone, what makes you reluctant to give me a shot? Be prepared to combat their objections. Come up with a list of 3 to 5 key objections that you've been given when applying for roles. Have an answer in mind for those objections. For example, I was dealing with a candidate once who was from Canada. The objection that I was being given as to why that candidate was not relevant for the businesses that I was putting him forwards for were that building standards were different. Canada is much colder, the buildings would require different spec to what we build over here. I had already had this conversation with the candidate about potential things that we may encounter when approaching businesses on his behalf. He had then given me the information that actually he's from Vancouver, where the weather's quite similar to Melbourne. The only difference in building spec is that Vancouver is located on a fault line. Therefore, they have to have much more stringent seismic controls when building. I was able to use this and overcome objections and get that candidate interviews. So in summary, find the businesses, find the contacts, call them directly, prepare for your sales pitch for yourself, and prepare for the objections that they may have about your skill set or your background. When you're trying to identify businesses to approach, you may already know the types of businesses that you want to approach, but if you don't, what you can do is use industry tools such as the Civil Contractors Federation website for civil employees, or if you're a commercial building candidate, you can use websites such as Estimate One if you have access to it, or other industry tools and industry news publications to be able to identify businesses that are delivering certain size projects. Good luck, hope this helps.